Earlier, you mentioned Protestantism. Do you think Protestantism has been positive or negative for Christendom as a whole?
It was the rupture. It was the end of Europe. It used to be called Christendom before it was called the West and started worshipping other things. Luther, poor man. I think Luther didn't see what was coming after him. Luther, whom the Catholic Church itself has recently acknowledged. It's one thing, the reform that Luther wanted to make, which later led to the Counter-Reformation, it's something, but what came after was entirely disastrous. A break in every sphere of life. Luther recognizes the value of the Eucharist. He has a famous debate, Luther with Zwingli, for example, who denied transubstantiation, the transformation of bread into the body of Christ and wine into blood. And this is not just a theological break, which might only interest a few, but it turned into, let me explain. Then, what came after Calvin and what came after that, with all that mix of fanatics who call themselves Christians, who to me are not, of heretical sects from the United States, which later leads to the Jehovah's Witnesses, and entirely delusional things, which led to a very specific mentality. They are the fathers of capitalism, for example. That Protestant split, that encouraged capitalism, encouraged a way of being that. Earlier, on the way here, I mentioned that I feel more comfortable in Lebanon than in Stockholm. Well, yes, because the way people are in Lebanon is very similar. It's the Mediterranean, and we share many things with or without Islam. And in Stockholm, it's something else, which comes from that break that Luther and all those who followed him started, who were even worse than Luther. It was the end of Christendom. It was what led to new internal religious wars in Europe. It was used to justify the National Anglican Church in England. It was used to justify the end of Catholicism in a very specific part of Europe, basically from the middle of France to the north. Then with those small islands of Catholics like Poland or other cases, Protestantism was the first major defeat of Christianity in history. It was the origin of many of the evils, and I include capitalism in that for the world.